Hello, hello, hello. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Pardon Well Live. I'm your host, David Lilly. Hope you had a fantastic week. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Your jabronis. And as always, we have co-host Alex coming in. Alex, how was your holiday? How was your holiday, man?
Oh, Thanksgiving was a fucking dandy. Shout out. Hello, everybody. Hope you all tighten another belt notch with the food we ate. No, it was great. It was great. A lot of Guinness, a lot of laughter, a lot of farts. You know?
Nice. That's perfect.
A lot of turkey, a lot of tryptophan.
A lot of tripping. Depends on what kind of Thanksgiving you had, dude. So there's a little anecdote. Since I've turned 40 now, I'm 40 years old. When I eat sweets, so I had a ton of pumpkin pie and pecan pie. I get leg cramps at night now, and it's awful. So I actually have to cut my sweets back. Oof. And I may or may not have gout now too. So I don't know. I got one toe that's acting up. So I can't remember if I stubbed it, like going to pee early. And these are all things that old people are like, I don't remember if I stubbed it when I went to piss for the 4th time at night. And then, or I have gout. But it was all during my leg cramps from eating too much pie. Anyway, I sound like I'm freaking falling apart. I had a great Thanksgiving. I'm glad you had a good one. All right. Well, tonight we're going to be talking about ops. We're going to talk about psyops because it seems like everything that we're dealing with, and for just the past I don't know, who knows? It seems like the further you go back, the more you're like, oh, that 1960s thing, that was a psyop, and so it seems like everything's a psyop. And so we're going to be chatting a lot about that. We got Tim Walz coming up, the pipe bomber. That seems like a psyop. We're going to mention the Campbell's thing. Sarah Hurwitz, she's mad because she can't run her psyops because of the internet. We got all kinds of psyops going. But again, I just want to remind everybody, like and subscribe. Share this with your friends. Share this with your family so they know when to pick out and how to pick out psyops. We're going to be doing a lot of that tonight. You're going to be learning a little bit about me, like, is this real or is this fake and R-worded? We're going to be saying retard a lot tonight, too. I've got a feeling.
Yeah. R-word back, baby.
Yeah, it is. And with a friggin' vengeance. Let's start this off with the clip. I've got our favorite soon-to-be president. I'm joking. Our favorite runner-up, old Hillary Clinton. We got a clip from her. She was on something recently. I don't know what it is, but she's
Murder never looked so good.
Dude, hasn't aged at all. She still looks like she's 98. And
baby's blood's terrific, man.
I was about to say
better than the anti-wrinkle serums.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's in the anti-wrinkle serums, the good ones at least, the ones you can't buy over the counter.
The ones you got to go to Epstein's basement for.
That's right. That's right. His wine cellar.
Bring your own
wine cellar. Here we go. Take a look at this. She says the quiet part out loud.
If the platforms, whether it's Facebook or Twitter X or Instagram or TikTok, whatever they are, if they don't moderate and monitor the content, we lose total control.
Record skip. There it is, man. If they don't start monitoring this stuff, we lose total control. Was this do you think this clip is from 2020 or they're just still stuck on the same playbook?
Well, I mean, she's old as shit, so there's definitely a possibility that she's just kind of in a tape delay from 2020. Sometimes sometimes you just get these breaths of lucidity where it's like they don't hear themselves. They talk like they kind of slip into this faint regression, like they talk the way they would at home.
Yeah.
I mean, so when her and Bill, that child molester, when they talk behind closed doors, it's like sometimes their truth comes out. It shows up on their sleeve when they're not supposed to be. It's like, shh, you're in public.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking I was thinking maybe there's some side effects from adrenochrome, like you look younger, but your brain forgets time and space, like everything starts to blend.
The lizard brain took a backseat for a moment.
Yeah, it for sure did. Or here's the other option: what if it didn't? And this is what I'm going to get to tonight, because my belief is, they enjoy all of us doing the stupid Leonardo DiCaprio. I mean, we're like and we're pointing at the screen. I'm starting to get a feeling that all of these people, all these elites, these higher ups, these cabal of people controlling everything, they're just laughing. They're like, yeah, we're just going to say all the fun stuff out loud now, and and you just got to deal with it. Just deal with it.
Yep.
Just deal.
Yeah,
with
revelation of the method.
Yeah, I don't think they care anymore, because I'm like, they said, what are we going to do to them now? You know. And this is on CNN. It's not like CNN should be under. Like, it should not even exist anymore. Their ratings that they have just been plummeting. They're losing all sponsorships. You know, Pfizer that didn't really work out too well. They shouldn't even be around, but they still are. You know, and I guess if we had Doge and it was going to cut all this extra funding from all this funding being leaked into wherever.
Right.
And you think that would have worked, but we got rid of Doge anyway. So Doge is gone. So CNN's going to still continue around, and probably off of the tax dollar. You're probably paying for CNN. That's why it's just going to keep having this lizard brain running.
It's funny because, you know, it wasn't, I know this is, you know, breaking news kind of, breaking news.
Is it breaking news? Hold on. Here, hold on.
No.
Guys, we've been playing around with new fun things.
Yeah, we've been fucking around.
All right.
With kids.
There we go.
The kids. No, and I think it was like omitted purposefully from the Netflix merger with what was
with HBO?
No, not with HBO. With not Time Warner. Fuck, Warner Brothers.
Oh yeah, that's the new one. Yeah. I think HBO's under that too.
Yeah, there's a certain amount of omissions with some of the creative content rights. You know, like it's not going to include Marvel or anything like that. But even just like secondary and production rights, you know, how that breaks down. They definitely are not including CNN. So because I know they get lower ratings than MSNBC, which is I didn't even know that was possible. But yeah, it's like, just take this turd with you. Like, no, keep it outside. It smells.
Moving it lower and lower and lower. I don't think there's much left to. I heard about the Netflix merger, and everyone's being just kind of fed up and sick of whatever this is going to end up doing, because it never seems like we're going to get anything good. And so every spectrum, from what I was hearing, it's like people are like, yeah, all the movie theaters, they're like, oh, we're getting crapped on now because Netflix doesn't really do movie theater releases, whereas in Warner Brothers and HBO, they were constantly putting stuff out in theaters. And then the other crews were like, yeah, Netflix doesn't go past season 3 on anything. So if you wanted a season 4 of something, you're not getting it now.
You know how fucking pissed I was? I think the last show I saw that like went past 3 seasons, as you mentioned, was BoJack Horseman. And they cut it at 7, and it could have gone another 3. It was so fantastic. It had a cult following. Anybody at home that can vouch for that, get in the comments too, by the way. But yeah, like I was so pissed when Duncan Trussell's show got cut after 1 season. Everybody was like, "What the hell?" I'm like, "Oh my god, this is crazy."
I totally forgot he had a show.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go back and watch that. I freaking loved Duncan Trussell. I freaking love that. Did you know him and our other favorite comedian, political commentator, Kurt Metzger, they have a thing going. Yeah, like they're gonna start a show.
I love it. Yeah,
dude, that one's gonna be good.
I think they did an offshoot on DTFH, and then now they're moving it to like a separate show entirely. But Kurt's also got Derb with Kurt, and by the way, anybody who watches that, it's freaking fantastic. It's so funny.
I love Kurt. Kurt's a prophet. Kurt's in it to win it. And you know what? This is a side rant. If you ever go watch Jimmy Dore's podcast, and he's always normally there talking. And Jimmy Dore is still like he's the normie who got the shot, and then but even then he still clings to like, we got to get the votes for the things, and Kurt's like, it's all ran by reptilians, and it's just great, dude. He's like, no, they're all satanic pedophiles.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Dore's like, no, we definitely need to get this policy passed. And I'm definitely starting to lean more towards the Kurt Metzger than I am the Jimmy Dore.
Oh yeah, Kurt. I mean, and I love Jimmy, but don't get me wrong. Like Jimmy doesn't have half the charisma without Kurt. That duality, that interplay, they're so fantastic on the air together.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm also kind of waking up to a lot of other things. And tonight's we could stop talking about it and get to the clips. Tonight's all about that, dude. Everything's a friggin' slap. Anyway, that's enough of this old hag. Anyway, she said the quiet part out loud, and we're gonna kind of talk about it in a little bit. And so I've got another clip from the same place that somehow still has money enough to have people, which is friggin' wild. We got CNN coming in, and everyone I know has seen this clip. It's them talking about the new J6 pipe bomber. Now, we discussed the pipe bomber when the Blaze TV came out with an article talking about it was that lady. So we apparently have dropped a new pipe bomber. We might have to hang out on this one because I've listened to so many different things, and everyone I listen to is in a consensus about what this is. This whole this op that we're about to witness. But I want to play the CNN one because it's funny and ridiculous. And again, I think they don't care. And then I want to get into your thoughts, Alex, about this and how is it this fake? Why is it this fake? And what's this trying to cover up? But first, let's watch this. Let's watch this clip. I'm gonna hit this big.
That guy's so white. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Capitol attack. Brian Cole Jr., a 30-year-old white man from the D.C. suburbs, is charged with transporting an explosive.
That's my point, dude. They don't care anymore. They just don't care.
The most trusted name in news.
They don't care. They're like, yeah, we know he's not white, but we're going to say it anyway. And what are you going to do about it? And then all we do is like, well, I guess we're going to talk about this Sunday night at 8:30. What are we going to do?
They're trying to give us content. So thank you, Jake Tab. We appreciate it.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah. God, dude, 30-year-old. I was like, this is the only way to start this off. Again,
Jesus Christ.
And a lot of people talked about this being like, there's like a swath of people, most likely boomers in nursing homes. They're all be like, a white man. Of course it's a white man, probably a Trump supporter. And so they doubled down on that too. They're like, this autistic black kid he's a big Trump supporter. And he loves Trump, and he was trying to blow up everybody because he loves Trump so much. And then when you dig into it, it's like none of that makes any sense. None of it. It's the same thing as they tried to pin Charlie Kirk's shooter as a Republican, and then they tried to pin the kid who popped shots off of Trump as a Trump supporter. It's none of this makes any sense, man. We'll go and finish this clip, and then I want to get your thoughts on it.
Device in interstate commerce and with malicious destruction by means of explosion. CNN observed local and federal law enforcement outside his home in Woodbridge, Virginia this morning.
All right. Yeah. So apparently this is the new suspect. Now, again, let's put in our timeline. The Blaze came out, what was that, like 3 weeks ago? We talked about it, maybe a month, that they were like, this is who we think the pipe bomber is, and it was a Capitol police officer.
Yep.
We talked about it. She was the first one to fire off rounds into the J6 crowd when she was at the Capitol. She was also like, there's a video clip of the pipe bomber, and as the Capitol police drive by, the pipe bomber waves. The video is clear that he waves, or she waves at them. And that was like a month ago. And then all of a sudden, Kash Patel's like, no, stop looking there. We already have our suspect 5 years later. So why? What is this, dude? Because I'm assuming you don't believe this is true, right? Or you're like, no, it's totally sold in. This kid is the pipe bomber.
Well, I'm definitely not sold 1,000% on anything that they tell us, regardless if it's the first go about, second go about, third go about. I mean, I don't believe Luigi Mannion killed that guy, Brian Thompson. I don't believe that fucking Charlie Kirk was killed by Tyler Robinson. So anyway, so all that aside being said, I knew the initial reports from Blaze Media had some concessions with it. They were doing kind of an autopsy specific kind of match to like his gait and his walk, and with some of they're trying to line it up with some of the what the locals are saying about the person that they thought it might be. Because they were saying that this person had worked in Capitol Police and they were local to the area for a long time. Now with this person, I can't remember the gentleman's name, the Caucasian gentleman we saw on CNN.
Yeah.
But
that white.
But for me, it's like once you understand revelation of method that it's problem, reaction, solution. When you understand that the FBI and CIA are driven on putting together these false flags for the sake of retaining their previous budgets and continue to surplus those budgets, they're going to create false flags to justify that. So when you know that that's the backdrop to justifying their budget every year, why wouldn't they go out of their way to make, plans like this to set up psychological operations? Now, that being said, the one interesting wrinkle is that this was apparently like a black autistic guy who lived in the area that a lot of people knew and saw on a regular basis walking his dog. He wore like these red Crocs, according to Kyle Serafin's reporting, and he was just kind of like this just average meandering dude. So I'm wondering, we talk about ops, how much did they really get in his ear? How much did they kind of egg him on, as they did with the Whitmer kidnappings and those guys? How much did they actually kind of shoehorn in this guy who would have been minding his own business and kind of been a little off, but they purposely target these people that are impressionable to do things that they want to be carried out that they wouldn't do themselves. So I think that he was kind of put in that position. He was clearly a patsy. Didn't really know what was going on. If you saw him, nakedly for the first time, blindly for the first time, you would think that he clearly needs a little help. And also too, like the fact that he planted a bomb outside the Republican Black Caucus, like that doesn't make any fucking sense.
No,
it just seems like they're trying to hit both sides for the sake of covering their ass if they get caught, whoever they is. So there's so many questions still to be answered. It doesn't look like he's any bit close to culpable in the broad scheme of things.
If I was to give any credence to in the video of the J6 pipe bomber that we have, the video of them, if that is this same kid, this white dude, if it is, then there's no way in hell you're going to convince me he concocted this plan on his own.
No.
And that he executed it on its own. Now, the evidence for what they're saying, I haven't really looked a ton into this. And I know the Blaze Media nailed this Capitol Police officer, which that could be an op on its own. I don't trust Blaze Media, but I trust them more than the FBI because Blaze Media has less to gain than the FBI does for whatever this is. So The problem with the J6 pipe bomber is when it happened, everyone I knew was like, well, that's fake. Like, that's fake. Like, this isn't real. This is a job done by somebody. This isn't just some Trump supporter, which is what they tried to pin it on, or even a radical leftist. This isn't just some radical leftist anarchist making pipe bombs and leaving them by the RNC and the DNC. And so I was like, we already know that this is an op. And now there's an op on top of an op, because what I think happened. If this kid is the actual pipe bomber, MK Ultra the whole way.
Oh yeah, that's what I was leaning towards too.
By the way, it. Yeah, what's up?
Oh, I was just gonna say his name is Brian Cole Jr. He's 30.
Brian Cole. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and forget his name because I'm like 99% sure that's not him. I'm
that's a white name.
Yeah, well, that's a white. No. I'm saying that's definitely the kid's name. But I'm saying he wasn't. I don't think he's the pipe bomber. Now, will they convict him and send him away? Probably, just like they did Ghislaine. That's if he doesn't somehow, God forbid, Epstein himself. Which is another option that we tend to seem to get, especially when you crack shots off from a roof at a Butler rally and then Pete's dead. So much for asking questions. The other thing, so I think Blaze, this is why I think it's coming out now, because it's been 5 years. And the FBI back then, they were pulling people who cell phones pinged 30 miles away from the Capitol, and they went and searched their houses.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was the thing. They narrowed this kid's down from cell phone data and credit card expenses. You're telling me they've had 5 years and they're just now, oh, hey, look, we found a guy.
That's day one shit.
Come on. Come on. Like, there's no way. And you could say, well, David, it was the Biden administration. I don't care. I don't see a distinctive line between Kash Patel and Christopher Wray at all. None of them. They just kind of xenomorphed into it.
There's a deep state guy. It's not. Yeah.
Yeah, and it just blows my mind. So anyway, I think the Blaze tapped in, found the actual culprit, and that couldn't happen with the FBI. They're like, no. This lady got promoted. We look like if she's the actual J6 pipe bomber, we look like a bunch of chuds. So let's not do that. We need to wrap this up real fast. And then on top of that, all of the internet that I can see, all the MAGA and the conservatarians and all them, all they've been doing is yelling repeatedly, we want arrests now. We want arrests for deep state. We want arrests for criminals. We want arrests we want arrests now. And so they're like 2 birds, 1 stone. We cover up the chick who actually did the pipe bombing, and MAGA gets an arrest. Here's the icing on the cake. We'll make them black. We'll make them black. MAGA will love that. MAGA will love that because they're all a bunch of racists anyway. And the best part is MAGA is they're just coming out like, we don't buy it. No one buys this anymore. So not only was it an op at the first time, now they're stacking an op on top of an op, and they're doing it to make sure you don't ask questions about the previous one. And we'll go and make sure he's black. You know, that way all the Republicans can be like, oh, that's definitely the guy. Look at him.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's the same thing with like Ty Robinson. Oh, he's banging furries. Yep, red meat for the MAGA base. Yeah,
oh, perfect.
Like Posobiec and all these deep staters, they're just fucking eating that shit up.
Yeah, some FBI agent was like, hey, go to ChatGPT and type in some trans furry slogans that are on Discord. What is this? Oh, here's a fun one. Etch that into the bullet. Again, like I've fallen off the deep end. So any of my normie friends, if they ever watch or listen to this and they're like, what happened to David? It's just because I keep looking at this stuff with like just a moniker of critical thinking. And I'm like, I can't, how am I supposed to believe this? And then if you do believe it, say I'm going to give the FBI and CIA a benefit of a doubt for some God knows reason, just maybe because I want to hold on to some function of reality.
Yeah.
The thought of me in the back of my mind is, oh, they're just laughing at me now because I'm trying to eat the slop they're giving me because I want something to make sense. And none of it does, man. None of it does. To add up, do you have anything to add on to the op on top of an op?
Just in terms of the timeline for people at home, because we'll be continuing to keep a tab on this. They're going to be keeping him detained in custody until December 15th, so a week from next month, from Monday. So
then what?
Send him back out in the wild? No, they're going to put him back at Fort Bragg. All right, good. Go back to sleep. Go back to sleep.
God, dog.
Go back to your Soma.
And to think about the family, like this is the thing that kills me. Is this family is probably like, you think our son did, the one who lives in the basement who has to wear headphones when he goes to Target? You think he's the pipe bomber?
Picks his ass crack and sniffs it. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, yeah, the reason we can confirm it is because he gave a confession. I was like, you did what to an autistic kid?
Yeah, I can give candy. I can give candy to a kid and make him tell him that he loves me.
Bro, like, turn the lights up slightly, and his sensory deprivation is gonna freak him out. He's gonna not be able to touch the chair. You know, like you can't get it. I don't care, man. If an autistic kid, all you have to do is yell slightly loud, and he's gonna say whatever he wants.
Or whatever you want. His routine.
Yeah, that's it, dude. Just flicker the lights a little bit. He'll say whatever he wants just to get out of that friggin' room. I would be terrified. You're gonna tell me this kid isn't terrified?
No, he's probably shit. Yeah, he's losing his shit. According to the reports from BBC too, I think he worked with his father at a bail bonds place, just kind of doing menial tasks.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's no way in hell, dude. I've met dozens of people at this guy's level, like this, you know, just this regular, average Joe kind of level. There's no way that he did something this sophisticated, that they were just finding this revelatory evidence now about his digital footprint during that time period. Yeah. It's like that's week one FBI shit. That's not stuff you find out 5 years later. So.
And again, like the problem is we all have videos too, and people are looking at him like, the guy doesn't walk like this. This doesn't look like him. This looks like a female gate. So the Blaze was pretty spot on. I mean, to be honest, when the Blaze came out with that reporting, I know it wasn't officially confirmed and there were no arrests, but everybody, we just kind of took it with face value. It's like, oh yeah, I guess I can kind of see that. Yeah, it would make sense. This all fits into the op narrative that they were just trying to, you know, throw MAGA and Trump supporters under the bus so they could ride on that for 4 years to make sure Biden gets a second election. You know, and then at worst case scenario, Biden, you know, has an aneurysm and loses where he is and starts to develop the Alzheimer's even faster. And then we'll just tell everybody from CNN, we'll tell everybody that Biden's never been better. He's tip-top shape. And they'll eat that too.
Sharp as a tack.
Yeah. Oh my God. You don't hate the media enough. You don't hate it. You don't hate the government enough. You don't hate any.
The well does not go deep enough. You can never hate them enough.
They think you're so stupid. They think you are just mindless drones that you can just be pushed around on a freaking chessboard. And I'm happy we're coming to an end of that. I do. Oh, I want to play this because this is just, if you're not mad about this pipe bomber psyop enough, this is going to make you even worse. Now, I can't confirm any of this, but I'm going to take this guy because I think he's a journalist from Blaze. We're going to watch this clip and he's going to explain. This is just one detail out of this long podcast that I listened to, Liberty Lock Pod with Clint Russell. And they're talking about the J6 pipe bomber. This is just one detail where I'm like, they hate you. They hate you and they think you're dumb.
For anybody in our audience that's not familiar,
they were just dispatched to look for explosive devices.
Definitely subscribe because that show's fantastic.
Yeah,
been on fire. Clint's been on fire this year.
Go subscribe to this. This is we'll switch it up this way.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh wait, no. Let's do this. Why do I have it like that? All right, so this is just one detail. Check this out.
They were just dispatched to look for explosive devices, like you'd expect. We found a device. Go look for more.
Of course.
Capitol Police had what are called counter surveillance units, or CSUs, and those were 2 officer teams staffed by 2 special agents for the United States Capitol Police, and they had 3 total teams, so 6 officers in pairs. One of those pairs drove lights and sirens, and it turns out they were driving before the call for the bomb went out, lights and sirens, but they went lights and sirens to the Capitol South Metro Station, incidentally enough, the same metro station that Person of Interest 2 had exited and departed from. It might just be a coincidence there. Parked at the metro station, which is not the most logical place to park, and then went on a beeline, of all places, to the exact bush the pipe bomber had been sitting at the night before for 77 seconds. And they walk by, and you can see the video on Steve Baker's Twitter feed. They look underneath the bush as they walk by. Then they go stand behind a light pole, and they kind of go like, wait, isn't that the right place? Shouldn't it be there? We can't hear anything, but we.
So I'm going to pause it because there's a little bit of context. I'm going to explain. So before this clip, because I didn't want a super long one, he talks about how there's video of the pipe bomber before he puts any pipes down. He goes to a spot by a little park bench and he sits down. He even calls it crisscross applesauce. Sits down for about 77 seconds. And then he kind of is looking around and then gets up and then walks away and then goes to another spot and plants the pipe bomb. And it says in the video, you can kind of see him looking around under the bench, and so that's what he's talking about. That was the pipe bomber did that. Went to this light pole, sat down for a while, got up, and then went to a different spot and placed the pipe bomb. And he's saying the Capitol Police arrived to the spot, went to the spot where the guy sat down. This is, again, that same time. This isn't like they watched the video. They went to the spot, sat down, and did one of these looky-loos under a bush nonchalantly, and then went to a light pole and then hung out there and chit-chatted for a little bit. Chit-chatted. And then walked back, and that's what he's talking about. So I'm gonna bring this back a little bit.
And sitting at the night before for 77 seconds, and they walk by, and you can see the video on Steve Baker's Twitter feed. They look underneath the bush as they walk by. Then they go stand behind a light pole, and they kind of go like, wait, isn't that the right place? Shouldn't it be there? We can't hear anything, but we can imagine what the conversation was. And then they go walk past it again, going back the opposite direction from whence they came, and they do a full looky-loo under the bush, like looking all the way to make sure they didn't miss something underneath. And then they go directly to the actual place where the pipe bomb was placed, over at the bench, with no detours, no stops, and no other looks. And they end up finding the bomb they found the bomb in 11 minutes and 7 seconds from the time that they unasked themselves from their vehicles, which might be a record and probably beats all the bomb dogs, if I had to guess.
Dude, I'm telling you, they don't even care anymore. They don't even care. They're like, yeah, we know that we planted it. It's part of the Capitol Police. It's a government thing. We wanted to lock up Trump supporters to make sure that they were afraid to vote for him again. But now that we're just gonna arrest an autistic kid and we're gonna make you eat it.
Yeah, it's too many signs that it clearly was set up from the inside, and that they had a patsy in place. They had schematics to basically do as little to no harm as possible, and get out scot-free. So that there was basically virtually anything untraceable. Nothing else to see beyond these walls, nothing to see beyond this person we caught. It's all as simple as Occam's razor. That's the way and it's all for more power and more funding for the same departments that are literally taking away your rights and raping your wallet. So it's just amazing.
Yeah, luckily it's just the wallet for now. We're not moving because that's probably coming, which is a good segue where you talked about they can't see past the wall. Let's watch this clip from this lady named Sarah. I forget what her last name is, but you can probably pick that one up pretty quick. Hurwitz, never mind.
Of course. Oy jeez, oy vey.
Oy vey. Let's watch this clip where she's going to talk about why the internet's really messing up our psyops. Let's take a look.
Why does it hate our Jews?
We're kind of entering a post-literate society, and if like all day long your brain is just smashed again and again by TikTok with really upsetting carnage in Gaza, then like you're talking and like I'm sorry if this is a graphic thing to say, but like when I'm trying to make arguments in favor, for Israel, I realize I'm talking through a wall of dead children. Like that's what people are saying.
Oh, really?
So I'm like, yeah, but it's one.
That could have something to do with why people hate you. I don't know. Boy, there's a lot of dead babies walking around. Man, this really has something to do with why I hate these people. Oh my god. Also, for anybody at home who doesn't know who this hack is, this was a former Obama speechwriter during 2012, the second go around. I mean, clearly a neocon propagandist, Pravda levels, but I just wanted to precurse that.
I love that we stopped it to where she's right here and talking about dead babies. She's this close. She's
dead
fighting
babies.
off the urge. She's fighting off the urge to do one of these or
dead babies or something like this.
Oh my god, dude. It's wild because she's like, yeah, I'm trying to convince them of these arguments, but all they can think is the vivid imagery, which I think is it's a bit cathartic, man. It's a bit cathartic. Because even you're an artist, I'm an artist, and one of the reasons why I like art the most is because instinctually it sends a message to your brain and your soul, and it conveys something quicker than just me talking to it through a book. And I think it was Chesterton talked about how logic and argument stands at the cathedral door and knocks of your heart. Like if your heart stands at your door and knocks, while art actually shines truth and light through the stained glass windows. So it's a quicker access, and it gives it something more depth instead of it just constantly being a messaging propaganda. And I love the fact that she's talking about where we're trying to have our arguments, but you can't hear us on this side of a wall of dead babies. I can't believe she said. I mean, at least she's being honest, I guess.
Well, she's trying to say, like, boy, people just won't listen to us. Our message is not getting through defending the people of Israel because all people think about is dead babies. It's like, yeah, it's kind of hard to unforget, right?
Yeah, I could solve this. Hey, Sarah, I can solve this real fast. I could hear you better if you stop killing babies. Like, just what?
Yeah, if you didn't turn every neighborhood into a parking lot, that might help.
Do you know the best PR campaign for Israel would be right now? Stop killing babies. That would be cool. That'd be real fun.
Bombing hospitals and it's great.
And churches.
Waiting for people to walk well over 5-10 miles once a week to get desperate food for their families and just teeing off as a target range. Crazy.
Again, you want to know the most frustrating, and this is going to sound callous. I'm already off the deep end. So there's no saving me. When it comes to callousness against just people, everything's a freaking psyop.
I'll tell her that.
Yeah, right. But my big problem is because, and I've said this before, and it's an ignorant statement for sure. It's very simple-minded, ignorant. But it's hard for me to really care about a place, or I can't really point. Like I know where it is on a map, but it's not. God has given me this particular garden to plant and to flourish. So I care about America. I care about my community, my state, my family, my friends. That's the thing God's given me. This is the farm, the garden I need to till. I don't really want to think about Gaza, not because it's so horrific, just because I don't know what to think about down there, because I'm not a fan of terrorists. Guys, I'm not even a fan of Islam. I think it's a stupid religion. I probably shouldn't say that. I look at Islam like the stepbrother, the stepbrother from the second dad into the Abrahamic religions family. It's the one where you're like, yeah, you're part of the family, but you're the violent one we don't want to invite to the cookout because you're gonna get into a fight with someone. I don't know. That was a terrible analogy. Anyway, I said all that because I don't want to defend any side of this war, even though we're paying for both sides. But what am I supposed to do with this kind of propaganda?
Well, let's finish the clip. Speaking of propaganda.
Oh, speaking of, let's keep going. My bad.
1.5 civilians they're just seeing carnage.
But
right?
that's
like,
the emotional blackmail.
I mean, fair enough, but like again, I mean that's nice, but like through a wall of screaming children, it's like I think it's a harder argument than we're understanding. So I actually really strongly think that like Jewish day schools should absolutely say no child owns a smartphone until senior year. They don't own one at all. Period. We give it to them senior year and we teach them. Like this whole not during the day, great, nice start. No smartphone at all until senior year. Dumb phone, sure. Like, but I think that we've got to like give our kids' brains a chance and their mental health a chance before they start getting really warped.
Bro, I want to hear your thoughts because I know exactly what I'm thinking, and it's horrific.
Well, you wouldn't want their brains to get warped unless you had them, watching a CBS censored Barry Weiss piece with Larry Nelson's new acquisition. No, this is just her way of saying we can't let them access the internet while they're in school because they should be learning about Holocaust remembrance 24/7 on a doom loop, especially if they go to like Bethel or some shit.
Dude, this is freaking wild. This is why
again, it's asking people to ignore the wisdom of their eyes and ears.
I don't want to care about this conflict at all. I want it to end so badly so I never have to think about this conflict ever again. I need Bibi Netanyahu to call me so I can help them with their PR campaign. The fact that she just went from talking about a wall of dead babies to our solution should be taking care of our babies and their brains. So when they develop to a senior year of age, they'll be well-established adults. Because what we're really concerned about is making sure our babies don't get their brains warped while they're just spreading other babies' brains across an entire territory. Like. Yeah. Why would you mention babies, your own babies after that? With no empathy, no sympathy. It's like, you know what? The wall of babies is a good argument because we have our own babies and we would hate to see Jewish babies in the wall. We would hate that. That would have been Netanyahu's got to call me. I can't believe they were like, this is going to work fine. Mention the wall of babies and then mention our own babies growing up. And we need to make sure we monitor their cell phone usage.
And then make sure to kiss this wall.
Bro, I can't believe it. I can't believe how bad they are at this.
They're so out of touch.
But that's my point. Are they doing it on purpose, man? Are they like, we'll mention the wall of dead babies and then we'll talk about how we care about our babies wanting to grow up?
Well, I don't know if I think this one's more of a sectarian kind of agnostic, atheistic Jew. I think more of the Likudniks back there in Israel. I think more of them are taking like the biblical prophecy kind of stance. Like they're really trying to like make things happen with this whole red heifer sacrifice and all this other shit that they're doing in terms of like just in general. I think that this one is more of like the kind of NYU liberal Jew that doesn't really have anything beyond her ethnicity to hold her hat on, but she still feels threatened that people aren't buying the propaganda anymore. It's like, yeah, you're not going to be able to pander to people under 60 anymore, especially when you kill one of your biggest allies and spokespeople, Charlie Kirk, in broad daylight.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, of course.
Allegedly. Sorry. Yes. Yep. Yeah. He was the first one to tweet after he died 8 minutes later. That's kind of weird.
Yeah. There's a lot of weird stuff with that one. So apparently let's move right into this real quick because I do want to mention this. We're gonna say for the top of the show. Have you been paying attention to the Candace TPUSA riff, that whole thing?
Yeah, a little bit with like the scheduling conflicts and stuff. Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that? Because this is actually a really interesting conflict between the right wing and especially right-wing influencers and podcasters, because both arguments are it's not like what we normally see where one person's obviously wrong. I mean, I would say I want to hear your thoughts first on what you think, because
it's a little more, it's a little more
nuanced.
muddy because we're separating the wheat from the chaff, which would be MAGA versus MAGA, and that's really like the biggest thing. And there's sometimes when MAGA acts like MAGA, and there's sometimes when MAGA acts like MAGA, and it's like it's hard to delineate those two, opposed to just like who's like an op and who's not. But I do think that like this separating bylines between those two camps is far more interesting than anything else that's going on. And I think it's something that had to have been reckoned with a long time ago, because our Israel support goes back decades. Well, it doesn't just start at 67 borders. It really ramps up in the late 80s, early 90s during the Gulf War and stuff. So we've been buying this shit for a long time. They've been using us on borrowed time for a long time. So I think that this right-wing reckoning should have happened a long time between the paleocons and neocons, the Buchananites, all that stuff. I think that should have happened. So I think this is just kind of the current wave and iteration, but because of the virality and the nature of things being online, it's being more broadcast to us quicker with the bigger names that we have now today.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you went pretty deep with that. I was just gonna say, I think Candace, like, I think her show, like, I've listened to every episode.
Yeah.
I'm not I like true crime podcasts, I guess.
Yeah.
Some of it, it's not my jam.
Yeah.
I'm also not a woman, and so
we don't know what is a woman though.
What is a woman? Good point. So it's not my complete jam, but I understand why people like it. She's very theatric. Like, I've listened to it intently. I know when she sets some things up, you're like,
she's very good.
Yeah, this is a cliffhanger, and this is kind of emotion, and so it plays on. It's entertainment. It's literally entertainment. But I'm also willing to hear out some of the things, because everyone talks about, like, well, Candace is off the rails with Egyptian planes, and it's Bridget McCrone's French Legion, and which is true. It sounds like some wild Stranger Things episode where it's just everybody's coming in and it's supernatural. But then there are a few things that I think people tend to forget when everybody after Charlie. And so that's the problem. She's got a few aces in her pockets that she can always pull out. And one of them specifically was that the text exchange that Charlie had in a group that she wasn't even in, where he was, when everyone came out, it's like he never faltered on his support for Israel. And then she's like, no, he did. And I have the text, and you guys better come clean. And she posted it. And then TPS USA had to confirm and be like, yeah, no, he did say he didn't want to be strung along by these donors anymore. That is a legit text. And so you're like, okay, well, obviously she's not making everything up out of thin air.
Yeah. Well, for those who aren't aware or up to date, so there's been a back and forth on X with inviting and coordinating a time for her to have all of her questions answered by the TPUSA crew. And they're purposely, reading through the line, reading between the lines. Anybody at home can understand just by those exchanges when you see them that they're clearly ducking her, because they're trying to make it inconvenient for her to open up the window of time when she's not available because she's streaming or whatever else she's doing. So, these things are always a two-way street. There's always something lost in translation, but from what I can tell, it looks like they're purposely trying to set it up inconveniently for her so that she doesn't have the opportunity to actually get to them.
Yeah, I saw that, and then I also watched it where this is a clip going around where a caller that is a fan of TPSA, and she's like a nice old lady, and she's like, "Do you guys think you could do the live stream with her?" And I saw that and heard that before I heard Candace's summary of it, and I was like, man, these people they're so bad at PR. Like, they sound disingenuous, and when they're trying to talk to you. Everybody at TP USA reminds me of like a youth pastor, but not one they're like, this guy's a great guy. Like a youth pastor that likes what he does, but also loves to get hammered on the weekend. Like that kind of a youth pastor where it's like, right. He's a good kid, but he hasn't really got his life all together yet. That's how the vibe I get from everybody that's in this TPS that keeps coming out and talking. Except for the older pastors. They just, I don't know what to do with them. But their responses didn't feel genuine. And that was just my read on it. I was like, Candace might be right about this.
Yeah, well, I think as time goes by, I think you start realizing when you peel back the curtain that a lot of these guys are just cold, kind of soulless stiffs that kind of take orders. I think Charlie was clearly the charisma behind TPUSA and the reason that it was able to galvanize all these young people. People just don't have the people working for him that are standing up for him or at least trying to run cover don't have the same on-air talent. It's just that simple.
Yeah. See, TPSU, they need to call me. I'll come out there and be as genuine.
I got the perfect level of tism for you.
I think so. The tism. I got multiple types of tisms. I can
lay pipe bombs.
Oh man, I gotta be careful what we say on this because they're gonna be like, "That's our next passy." God forbid I'm MK Ultra and I don't know it. Lord, please, Lord
Alexis Wilkins,
Jesus,
please leave me alone.
I ask right now that you have not let me be MK Ultra. Oh my God.
Well, they'll leave us alone based on our internet use.
I hope so.
We're never going to Fort Bragg. We're going to the FEMA camps with single digits on our back, but that's about it.
Exactly where we're going. So for this Candace thing, real quick. I am not fully sold on the French Legion, but my problem is, here's the thing. Candace has more wind in her back, even with these outrageous, audacious claims of all kinds of stuff. And it's not like, oh, she's got a bunch of MAGA mommies. She has all of the failings of this administration at her back. Because every time she's like, hey, that Charlie Kirk thing, that guy didn't shoot him. And everyone's like, how do you not believe that? And she's, number one, look at the clues. But then look at all the past ones that we've gotten. The Crooks kid. Like, look at all the things that they fumbled the ball. The Epstein, we're going to release the documents, but no, why are we still talking about Epstein? Look at all of the things that this administration has fumbled on. And you can go, clearly, she may not be exactly right, but we're obviously not going to get any truth from what they're saying. So you have to assume that Candace is probably more spot on than anybody in the government. Like, that's my default now. And she has all of that distrust in the government, and all that is wind in her sails. Egyptian plane sales.
Well, and to that point too, it's kind of amazing that she's been able to stay on the rails and stay objective with the Charlie Kirk stuff because she was so close to the situation. She was friends with him, coming up in this alternative media space and with some of the grassroots stuff that they were both doing separately but equal. So if you're on top of things that early and that intimately, it's very easy to just go off the rails and just completely. Throw everything at the wall and curse objectivity, just trying to find some kind of truth. So it's just something that we have to continue to monitor because it's not going away. Just like
your marker is so loud.
My what?
Were you writing just now?
Oh, no. I was just scratching something like an office.
Okay, that was so loud.
Sorry,
it's a psyop. Yeah, man. I just want to end on that. I did think the TPS USA did a terrible job, but it seems that in that whatever camp that is, the Zionists, the what we just watched, the Sarah Hurwitz, it seems like their skills of propaganda are so bad. And again, we have all the wind in the opposite sails because they failed on everything. I do want to get to one win because it's always every week now that Trump's in office. Sounds like we're bashing Trump. I still enjoy. I don't regret my vote for Trump at all. I love the fact that he's in for multiple reasons, and our next few topics are going to be kind of just good wins that I think are obviously worth him being in it. Again, I don't think Trump is going to save America. He just delayed its downfall for us to get some laughs in.
Well, they're all mob bosses. He's just a different flavor of mob boss.
Exactly. Before we move on, we're going to get some comments. This one, I'm not sure what's in reference to, but we got, I can't even read that. It's so tiny, the name of it, but people and cultures these days don't want to assimilate, yet they want to govern to take care of, they want the government to take care of.
Yeah. Big nanny state. That's my cousin. Shout out to Ryan.
Oh, nice. Ryan. Yeah. Appreciate that. Is this your cousin? Also, we have another person in the chat. I think this might be my cousin.
It's not. I'm
sorry.
Cousin. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I mean, he's not. We were talking about Candace for too long because he's not a big fan, and so
now it could be my cousin actually.
No, it's probably your cousin. All right,
they got a purty mouth, boy.
Dude. All right, so let's take a look at this thing. It seems like we're getting H1, the hepatitis B vax pulled from dropping that jab into little children, and so that's a nice win. I love that we still have the breaking news above it. Looks like we coordinated.
It is breaking news. It broke Friday.
It is breaking news. I'm going to read this real fast, but basically, I'll give you a sum up. It says the ACIP recommends individual-based decision-making for hepatitis B vaccine for infants born to women who test negative to this virus. The reason why I think this is important to bring up is because I still don't know how many people, oh, my chair's moving, how many people, at least newbies, knew that part of the schedule for infants when they are born isn't a hepatitis B vaccine. I don't know how many people know what their kids are getting. And so anytime this topic was able to be brought up, I think it should, just because they're jabbing your kids with all kinds of wild stuff, this being one of them. But we won. At least RFK's over there doing something. I'm assuming this was him.
Yeah,
right?
he's still, yeah, but he's also still letting them spray the forever chemicals on the food.
Which is weird because I'm in RFK territory up in upstate New York, right on the Hudson.
Yeah.
And
right
that thing, the Hudson used to be filled with chemicals, and you couldn't even go fishing in the Hudson.
I used to eat mercury and talk dirty to girls up here. It's like Michael J. Fox getting lunch on a meat grinder.
There's a dead bear in Central Park, but I had nothing to do with it.
I slit its throat. Guys, we're getting way too off topic.
Oh my God, I'm loving it. Trump came out with this tweet, said today the CDC vaccine committee made a very good decision to end the hepatitis B vaccine recommendation for babies, the vast majority of whom are at no risk for hepatitis B, a disease that is mostly transmitted sexually or through dirty needles. The American childhood vaccine schedule long required 72 jabs.
Crazy.
Perfectly healthy. I know, dude, freaking wild. Perfectly healthy babies, far more than any other country in the world, and far more than is necessary. In fact, it's ridiculous. I feel like he didn't write this tweet except for that last. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
It's insane.
Many parents, you can tell like he's saying he's talking. And the people writing this tweet for him are writing it how they would say it. And then every once in a while, they're pulling things that he's saying and dropping in. Like, watch this. In fact, it's ridiculous, that part. Many parents and scientists, this is his intern doing this, have been questioning the efficacy of the schedule. As I have, that was him. That is why I have just signed the presidential memorandum directing the Department of Health and Human Service to fast track. I can't do it, Trump, whatever. A comprehensive evaluation of vaccine schedules for other countries around the world. So not only, I love Trump because not only is like, we're going to do this for us, but don't forget, I'm still thinking about other countries around the friggin' world. Like, can we just stop? Let them do whatever they want. Let them vax whoever they want.
Yeah. Well, I think a big part of the rollback on this schedule too, as it continues to roll out, the one that's most unique about Hep B is that it was historically, from what I understand, a 3-shot vaccine, and it was something that Wakefield and Del Bigtree were working on for a long time in some of their films, exposing the dangers because of the thimerosal excretion and the fact that kids coming out of the womb, they don't fuck and they don't do drugs, so you don't need the shot. It's just an unnecessary health risk right out the gate that you don't need. Yeah. And the fact that there was kind of an unflinching favorability, to the doctors that like they had to do it and they were going to do it, no questions asked within that 24-hour period is wild. And the fact that it's finally being repealed after, what was it, 1991 or 99 that started one of those 2 years. It's been well over 20 years. And it's long overdue that this has been to be repealed. The whole point is like the science isn't settled. This is like a perfect example of that. The entirety of it.
The best part, and this is I know it's like, what's the H1? It's I keep wanting to say H1B. Feels the same. Hepatitis B. H1Bs feel like hepatitis B.
H1 Hep B.
H1 Hep B. You can smash those together. I don't think this would have ever happened. Trump doing this, number one, if COVID never happened. It wouldn't have happened had he not gone to office. If Kamala was in right now, this wouldn't be happening.
Well, also
we'd be up to like 112 vaccines per kids. So we
and
know
I think part of his medical awakening, to be truthful with you, is I think when Barron was born, I think that kind of shook things up for him because Barron's got something.
Oh,
There's no doubt. There's no doubt. I don't know what it is.
He's got Riz, dude. He's got Riz.
Well, that too. Yeah, he's the Ingersoll Lockwood books.
Yeah.
He's got the Riz. He's got the Riz, the big Riz,
and apparently a time machine.
Yes,
he's got the big Riz. I like 2020. I think the health thing for Trump was. I mean, he doesn't drink. He doesn't want those kids to do drugs. That's just smart business tactics. Like you can't be really successful if you're gonna.
I think he got that from Roy Cohn.
I don't know who that is.
Roy Cohn was his handler that brought him up into politics, but he was a guy who serially blackmailed people through mob tactics. So if you don't drink, you don't put yourself in compromised positions to do things you wouldn't do when you're sober. I think some of it comes from that, just not health. I don't want to give him full credit to be like, oh, he's just healthier than people.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's give him credit for the fact that he followed through.
Yeah. People have vices, and it's hard to be human.
Well, either way, I'm happy Trump did this. Is definitely when, again, I think the COVID thing, this sentiment really got RFK back in. I think it helped Trump. I think COVID helped Trump in the long run. I also think him not winning 2020 helped him in the long run.
And for clarification too, I just want to mention as well that this is just repealing the national mandate. So each state can still be as stupid or as smart as they want to be in terms of, mandating things outside of Hep B and also with the Hep B shot itself. It doesn't mean that your doctor's still not going to continue to keep coercing because I don't know what their payouts, what their finances are.
Oh, easily. Oh, that's easily going to happen. Easily going to happen. I mean, especially for you and me who grew up in the Northeast. Michael Giuliano's got a comment coming in and says, why don't they jab the far left with the right supply? It is the season of giving. I agree. Buy Pardon Will's merch. You can go to pardonwill.com right now and you can buy t-shirts, all kinds of fun stuff. Listen to Michael. It is the season for giving. Buy a t-shirt and give it to your friends. And then when they ask if you want to jab your baby, you go, you know what? Save that hepatitis B shot for the next lefty that comes in because they're probably going to need it. Man, here's my problem with a lot of this. And it's the conspiracy brain. It's the Kurt Metzger derp brain that I've developed now. Someone has to go, well, why were they giving Hep B vaccines to kids anyway? And you're like, what would be the only reason they would do that? And you're like, Bohemian Grove seems like a good explanation where they came up with this. Like, it always goes back to Epstein. We're like, this is what they were doing. Of course, they were like, we should definitely give these babies Hep B because you have it and you have it and you have it and everyone around this burning owl has it.
Yeah. Well, once they got on this massive grand scale of jabbing people to death, I think it's just to include more inorganic material into your bloodstream so that it takes you further from God. It makes you less of a human being.
Yeah.
So that's my spiritual sense talking. It's like,
dude, it's probably all
from. Yeah. Yep.
I mean, the money grab is another easy one too. Like, hey, not enough people are getting Hep B. What do we do? Well, just make sure the babies have it, and we'll still get paid. Okay,
right.
Well, that makes sense.
Well, you put them on a fast track to be lifetime customers.
Yeah,
that's the whole point.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
It's like when boomers are like not cynical enough to not understand the incentive basis for like cancer treatment and stuff, and like the payouts that go with like shutting down B17 and other homeopathic remedies for early cell cancer treatments. It's like, well, why would they want to tell you that? Chemotherapy has like one of the highest markups of any other treatments in the medical industry. Like, why would they shut down that gravy train? And then you're going to tell me that all this money that gets funneled into cancer treatment actually goes towards actually eradicating cancer? The people that have cured cancer decades ago are killed.
Yeah. That's
just the reality.
That's only how it goes. Just a PSA for anybody out there trying to do the Lord's work and save people. Don't do it publicly. And definitely don't do any debate me bros at Utah Valley, because that seems to be a good way to take. Sorry, that was an insensitive joke. My bad. R.I.P.
Don't make infinite energy. Don't talk about the Jews, and don't. There's like a few rails. There's some not to hit.
You just can't.
You'll have a no-knock raid, and you'll have 2 suicide bullets to the same skull.
We got coming in, Mike Giuliano back with Baroness. He's not 7'12", And that's not even a height. That's 8 foot.
He's a
and
Nephilim.
Now we're on to something. Now we're on to something. It's not hard to dunk on Hunter. He is quite possibly a cartoon character. I don't even think Hunter's real. He's AI.
He's Hunter S. Thompson. Well, when you say dunk on him, do you mean like dunk his balls into his mouth or something? Or
he might have. I don't think.
Or actually poster him in a basketball game.
I think not. Well, metaphorically dunked his balls in his mouth. I think on Twitter. I think he went ham. I think Barron went ham on Hunter on Twitter, which is always fun to see.
I love it.
I like it. And he could dunk his balls in Hunter's mouth because Hunter's on the ground looking for Parmesan. And Barron's 7 foot. 12.
I feel bad for Barron's balls if that's the case.
He needs to get that Hep B. See, now he's going to want the Hep B shot.
Now I
full
want
circle. Now I need the Hep B shot. Full circle.
Turning a corner.
We got enough, dude. We are already at an hour. We're gonna rapid fire these last ones because I really want to get to these. And so we're gonna run a little bit longer tonight. But let's rapid fire these. I've got 3 clips in a row I want to play. We're gonna watch each one and just friggin' laugh our head balls off.
We're keeping it light tonight.
No, I'm gonna start with that. I'm gonna start with this one. So here we go. We got Tim Walz coming in.
Timmy.
So another reason why I voted for Trump is because Trump called Timmy the R word. And this is a shorter clip. I tried to find the longer one.
Timmy, I definitely don't touch kids' walls.
Oh my God.
And take them to China and molest them.
Timmy the Saddleman. Walz. Here we go.
Time on this. I've never seen this before. People driving by my house and using the R word in front of people. This is shameful. And I have yet to see an elected official, a Republican elected official, say, "You're right, that's shameful." He should not say it. So look, I'm worried. We know how these things go. They start with taunts, they turn to violence. So deeply concerned. True.
What?
This
you preside over the most violent state in the country.
And I'll tell you what, in my time on this.
Fuck.
The taunts. Do you remember back at that jazz festival in his state? He just had a jazz festival.
Holy
and the lady didn't do anything. She just happened to show up and they beat her. She didn't even taunt anybody. Anybody's gonna be. So that the taunts turn into violence. It seems like you don't even need the taunts, but I still love the fact that this is an issue. It goes deeper. It definitely goes deeper. Do you want to see it? So this is his daughter. We're gonna watch this. I might zoom ahead because she rails and raves.
No, I'm talking about this because while my family and I are always going to be the bigger people, the president calling my dad what he did has unleashed a storm regarding like offensive language towards me and my family and specifically my brother. You can call me whatever you want. You can call my dad, my mom. When it's Gus to the.
All right, so Gus is
who's Gus? The brother who
who's actually autistic. Yeah, crying autistic. Nobody's calling him.
Nobody's calling him that.
Nobody
That's
is.
The irony. I know.
If anybody is, it's no one. No one is. But I like how she's using the Gus thing to be like, stop calling names to my family. That is such a good lefty move. Yeah, totally good lefty move. I'm gonna fast forward. She goes into this.
How is it okay that the president of the United States can call somebody, anybody, doesn't matter who they are, that, and then all of his freaking cult members come and attack those people?
That's totally okay. It's the internet.
People just want to take free shots at your dad.
But it's so easy too. It's so
easy. I know.
And that person's family. Say what you want about my dad. He's an elected official, right? Like that's going to happen. I think it's utterly disgraceful that the president would do that. But then the attacks that I have seen, I have people DMing me saying absolutely horrendous things. When I was home last week, somebody drove by and screamed that we were R words.
I voted for this. I voted for this, dude. This is so worth it. It's so absolutely worth it. This is great. Timmy. That is great. I didn't even put the South Park Timmy together. Dude, I voted for this. I knew I wasn't going to get everything I want, and I have a right to complain when we don't get Epstein files and when Trump calls me a traitor for still asking for them. But hey, kudos to them by just simply calling Tim the R word, we've got this gold. And the problem is now the Streisand effect is done kicked in. I don't know how to explain this to anybody anymore. Tim Walz came out and talked about people driving by calling him and his family the R word. Now his daughter's hopping on old TikTok. And of course, Pardon Will is going to pull that up. We're going to look at Pardon Will Live. We're going to show both these clips, and it's only going to set a firestorm, dude. I don't understand how these people haven't figured out the Streisand effect at all. Here we go. You ready for this one?
Tim Walz, you Tampa-loving retard!
I love it. I freaking love it.
Tim Walz, you Tampa-loving retard!
Their entire, had they not said anything, just let Trump be Trump. Like Trump says funny things, whatever. Tim Walz could have came out and been like, sometimes I say funny things, like being friends with school shooters. and so funny
I know
things
these kids. I've touched them before, and then they picked up a rifle.
But now that he's like, people are driving by saying the R word, this should not be allowed. You are going to get so many more. Dude, when I was a kid, we used to drive around late Christmas Eve and tackle Christmas stuff like inflatables. We would go and mess people. That's me being a rambunctious, rebellious of a kid. Do you know how many Gen Zers are going to drive by the governor's house on Christmas Eve and yell retard? But they did it to themselves. You did it to you. This is all, Christmas is going to be filled with nothing but shouts of retard from sunroofs. It's going to be wild, dude. Their entire season's ruined because they just could have just left it alone.
No, they can't leave well enough alone.
Oh my God. I don't understand how
their behavior warrants this kind of backlash.
Bad they are at this. I've got I want to hold on. I'm going to look at one more thing. We're running out of time. I want to bring one more thing up that we didn't, and it's old news. Oh my God. I totally forgot about this. So this is quite possibly one of my favorite things ever.
Yeah, this one.
Franklin. Oh, I got to get this graphic off. Franklin calls Walz a retard. Dude, these Franklin memes are, I'm loving them.
They're back in a big way.
Oh my God, I'm friggin' loving them.
I'm all for it.
That is not what I was going for. Let's go back. I want to watch this one more time. While I look for the next thing.
Tim Walz, you Tampa-loving retard!
That's so good. That's so freaking good. All right.
Tim Walz, you Tampa-loving retard!
All right, one more psyop.
Next
one more
clip.
psyop. Oh, here we go. Why is it still playing? My bad. I'm gonna make this my ringtone. Oh, sorry. All right, I want to watch this Wahaj, whatever. How do you say
we're gonna hit Campbell's real quick.
Oh my God, Campbell's. Yeah. Skip this guy. Anyway, real quick with this guy, he says whites basically made a mistake letting brown people in. PSYOP. Total PSYOP. Trump had to have hired him to say this because nothing's gonna push right wing to go vote harder than this guy. Anyway, just want to bring that PSYOP up. Here we go. This is the clip. Check this out. This is just another
Campbell Soup Company employee.
This is just a holiday gift from us to you guys.
There's a lot of layers in this one too. No pun intended.
There is. It's like a 7-layer 7-bean soup. Let me full screen this real quick. All right, check this out.
A former Campbell Soup Company employee is taking legal action against the food giant, and he's making some explosive allegations about one of its top executives. Good evening, and thanks for joining us at 6. I'm Ty Steele.
I'm Kimberly Gill. Those allegations are now at the center of a lawsuit claiming the company's vice president went on an hour-long tirade attacking the company's products and employees before taking aim at its customers.
And the former employee recorded it all. Eric Erickson shares that recording and what the company is saying about it.
We have shit for poor people. Who buys our shit?
And that's just part of an old...
You gotta imagine though, out of all, they've been around for so long, and they're like, we're doing another board meeting. We're supposed to figure out how to raise more money, upcharge our prices. We make shit food for poor people. What are we supposed to do? Get Dylan Mulvaney to pose with it?
Can we dig up Andy Warhol's body?
God, dude, right? We need another artist to start doing renditions.
He was screen printing. I don't think he was screen printing bioengineered meat. We print shit for poor people.
Like the poor people can't even afford prints of those paintings. We need more. We need more some elite support. Somebody start doing monochrome paintings of this stuff. Oh my God, let's keep going. I friggin' love it.
Over an hour-long rant, says former security analyst for Campbell's, Robert Garza of Monroe.
I don't buy Campbell's products barely anymore. It's so healthy. Now that I know what the in it, even in a can of soup, I look at meat, bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer. You?
The recording
That's
allegedly
the
of Campbell's
thing.
VP and Chief Information
Dude,
Security Officer Martin Bally.
That's freaking
He has no filter.
wild.
Bally, along with another.
So here's the thing. That's the problem too, right? Because it's not like he doesn't know. He's complaining about his own product. This actually sounds like a legit rant that a CEO should be having. Like, hey, no one wants to eat this. But I had no, dude. I eat cans of soup. This is a little known fact. I love cans of soup. I eat this all the time. Not anymore.
No.
Not anymore. You're telling me we're already in this age where it's just being pumped out in this cans of soup. Oh, dude.
Well,
wild.
We've already gone down the path of like people looking into their food labels nowadays and trying to find sustainable alternatives without spraying shit on foods. And people want to know what's in their food. And it's like this kind of, all joking aside, because it's hilarious with the local news story, but the reality is like people should be horrified that they're 3D printing meat into these cans.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the biggest takeaway from all this shit is like, yeah, it's funny, like he went out with a bang or whatever, led up to this rant that was caught on a thumb drive. But that's the really the scary thing. And it's like, and it's almost indistinguishable to, paying customers. Like you could go to a restaurant. People have shown the exposed, you shave a steak and it's not cutting right, or it looks like imitation because it's fucking printed.
Yeah.
Crazy. And it bleeds. It looks real. And it looks real until it fucks up your endocrine system.
Yeah, dude, this is we. I don't want to black pill, but we live in a really, really weird, scary age, man. Really weird, scary age, and it saddens me because Campbell's Chunky has some really good flavors, and I think I just had the chicken gumbo the other night. I'm all screwed. I'm glad I was like, hey, good thing I'm not drinking liquid death. I have microplastics in me, but I'm drinking 3D printed chicken.
Chicken shit bullshit.
Pisses me off, dude. Pisses me off. But at least the story came out with the comedy and the truth behind it. So everybody
we're a couple weeks. Yeah, people at home, we're a couple weeks late on this because it made the rounds last week. But we want to just kind of cap it, put a story to it, and also understand when you go into the grocery store and you look at the labels now too. It says with the ingredients, both natural and artificial, it also includes biologics. And biologics is going to be this umbrella term you're going to see for the next decade plus. It's going to be a merger cross between printed or artificial foods, but it's also going to be a synthesis between human and those associated objects or those associated ingredients. Because if you look at the way they describe our person, our body, our things like that, they treat us as biologics. So when they're doing biometric data, they're doing all kind of the stuff, surveilling people. They treat us as biologics. And anything, you look into like gene therapies and stuff like that, and mRNA, that's kind of what their goal is to kind of conflate the two so that the things you put in your body are no different than the things that you are. It's all wrapped up into one.
I mean, I don't want to make a joke about it, but it's you are what you eat now. It's so literally.
What are you, a pussy?
This was a great episode. I enjoyed this, especially the Tim Walz stuff and this. It had some pretty fun ones. Man, tell everybody where they can find you. We're gonna play you out to a fantastic song. Oh, dude. Oh, wait. We got one. We do. We have. I think we still. Let me get this going.
We'll be working on some outros in 2026.
I got intros and outros coming. Not this, but we're just gonna jam this real quick. So we got one more. We might do next week. Oh, let me turn it down a little more. We have one more before Christmas. It's
this was on the P. Diddy cutting room floor.
What's the one? They got the one token white guy. So we might be back next week, and then if not, we're definitely coming back the 22nd, that Sunday before Christmas.
Yep.
And
21st.
21st. Yeah, whatever day. I don't remember paying attention now. 21st. We'll be back. We'll have a little bit more, and we'll do a little Christmas sign off. I've got a ton of projects going on this month, and then all that's going to come and hit the beginning of the year, including intros and outros for this podcast, upping up the social game a little bit too. So
maybe some merch in the future.
Yeah, actually I've got that set up too. Some actual Pardonable Live merch. Moving into the new era. So this building up is just me and Alex hanging out, doing a therapy sesh, and then hopefully 2026 we go a little bit harder.
Hell yeah,
a little bit more, have a little bit more fun. As long as you guys continue to drive by Tim Walz' house and shout retard, we'll keep making these
we'll still be your lovable retards on the other end.
That's right. All right, everybody, thank y'all so much.